Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel and the continuation of our journey together this week, or right now, is with a series of questions. Questions you can use to reset yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually. There's going to be 5 or 6 of these in this audio. Hopefully, there is something here that benefits you. Also, there's over 300 audios, so hopefully something clicks with you and is helpful. That is the goal anyway. Please like, subscribe, comment below if there's an audio you want to hear. Please feel free to comment about that too. We'll try and get to it in the next little while. Hopefully more consistent over the next several weeks as we are getting back in the groove of things after life taking me in another direction for the last week or so. Anyway, reset questions. Certainly during something like COVID, certainly during something like the race riots, our political election here in the States, and various other things that are going on, we all kind of need a chance to reflect and reset. And so, what are some questions that we can use to help us reset? So, the first one is, what am I grateful for? What am I grateful for is a wonderful question because you can't be grateful and upset at the same time. It activates two different parts of the brain. So when you reset towards what am I grateful for? What do I have that I might be taking for granted? What relationships have I nurtured that are paying off? What skills and talents do I have that other people might not? These are wonderful ways to reset ourselves. I remember about a little over 2 years ago when my body gave out. I had to spend a couple of months literally laying on my back, being told that I wasn't going to make it, thinking about all the things I was grateful for in spite of all that. There were people around me in the nursing facility I was in some of whom were nonverbal, some of whom were blind, some of whom had given way to dementia and other things. And I had to start to see that even though they were telling me my life was going to be short, and they were wrong, as medical professionals often are, I also learned that they didn't define who I was or who I would become. And I had to reset where my priorities were and the establishment of what I was good at and grateful for was helpful in that journey. Hopefully it will be for you as well. Next thing is, what talents do I have that I'm underutilizing? Every single one of us as a being, as a soul, as a person, whatever you believe, whether you believe in a higher power or you don't, whether you're an atheist or a God believer, has talents, skills, and abilities. And most of us have a couple that are hidden away. We hide them away because we forget about them. We hide them away because we give in to the illusion of competition that others are better than us. And so there's no point in trying. We hide them away because we're nervous, scared, dealing with anxiety, panic, don't know how to use them, or any other number of things. When you bring forth talents that you don't know how to use, when you bring forth talents that you haven't used before, when you bring forth talents that are ultimately a part of you, you will open up new relationships. You'll open up new beliefs. You'll open up new opportunities and goals and dreams and aspirations. And that can often be extremely valuable. So, next thing here is about goals. What is my goal for the next week, for the next month, for the next year, for the next 5 years, for the next decade? And also, what is the journey that I want my life to tell at the end? I always tell people, and maybe it's because I've spent almost, I'm next year I will be 10 years beyond what doctors even said were possible if I make it through the next year. I'll be 10 years beyond what the medical profession said I would ever live. And what's interesting to me is the last 2 or 3 years has been all about creation of legacy for me. This YouTube channel is as a result of wanting there to be some tangible evidence that I was here. That's all it is, and it isn't even about me, the person. It's about the work. You could change my name, you could dye my hair, and I wouldn't necessarily care as long as the work gets out there. That's what's it for me. But what is it for you? Is it a job? Is it a family? Is it a certain amount of money? Is it writing a song, writing a novel? Is it going to 106 countries. What is it for you that is the goal of the next phase of your life? Because if you have the goal, you have something to work towards. When you have no goal, apathy will eventually set in. And once apathy sets in, you have an uphill battle to reset yourself. And sometimes that takes days, weeks, months, or even years. And that can be quite unfortunate. I know that recently within the last let's say within the last 10 years, I've had two occasions where, for extended periods of time, several months, and in one for a couple of years, where I went through a drought of not reaching my goals because I was focused on things that weren't going to serve me in the long run. And so it's interesting that you have to find, what are my true goals? Not the goals that other people have for me, not the goals of what society says I should do. What are the goals at the end of the day I can live with myself within? The next, how do I do something different now? Now, obviously, if you need to lose 100 pounds, you're not going to lose that in a day, right? But how can I lose a pound in the next week? And if I commit to, I lose a pound next week for the next 100 weeks, which is almost 2 years. If I lose a pound a week for 2 years, I've lost 100 pounds. If I set goals that are reasonable, 1 pound, 2 pounds, whatever it is, 1 page, 2 page, if I'm writing a novel, whatever it is, what can I do now? What can I do today that's going to give me closer to that better tomorrow? And what is that next step? There's always a next step in a journey. And honestly, the more committed you are to making continual, consistent small steps, the more likely you are to hit bigger goals. Anyway, so hopefully that's helpful to you. Keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.